Anish Gawande, beyond that, I want a specific reason. Sharad Pawar, one of the most experienced politicians in the country, also wants Sunday suspects EVMs after all these years. What is the reason?
Rajdeep.
Give me a hard
Rajdeep.
reason.
We've been very clear. We've been very clear as a party that when the honesty and integrity of an electoral process is at stake, we have to be very careful about raising these allegations. So Mr. Pawar's statement in a press conference has been very specific and direct that unless we find accurate evidence of EVMs being manipulated, we will not take these concerns further. We're in the process of gathering some of that evidence. I'll tell you some of what we found so far, right? There's been a 13% increase in voters between the Lok Sabha election and the Vidhan Sabha election. That difference is usually 2%. So what explains a sudden spike in the number of voters? Now, the second thing is, if you compare ballot sort of paper votes, postal votes, to EVM polled votes, the results are shockingly different. In the past, in a state like Maharashtra, and you've covered these elections very far, postal ballots in Maharashtra are fairly representative of the population. They signal a trend where the sort of government is going to be formed. Here, you've seen a hung assembly emerge through the postal ballots, which are 5.5 lakh votes, and a completely different picture coming through EVMs. Now, getting to specifics, right? There's questions not only about the integrity of the EVM machines themselves, but the counting processes and the ways in which the Election Commission has handled certain complaints. Now, I'll give you an example. In Karad South, there were around 515 votes polled at the EVM, and 575 were assigned to the BJP candidate on the handwritten piece of paper that tabulates this data. In Karjat Jamkhed, where Rohit Pawar was contesting from the NCP SP, and our symbol is man blowing tutari, there was a deceptively similar symbol, the Pipani, which was used, which cost us 11 seats this election, which was assigned to a candidate called Rohit Pawar standing as an independent there. This is a joke of the process, Rashi. There are 80 free symbols available.
Okay, now you're making important points, and this is where Sushi Ben Shah, for example, the Karjat Jamkhed example given. Election Commission assigns an identical symbol to a tutari to another candidate called Rohit Pawar, which can lead to confusion. Now, this is where the Election Commission's credibility is coming into question, that they are allowing these things to happen. There used to be some attempt made to ensure that you don't allow this kind of potential manipulation to take place. It's not about so much the EVMs, it's also about the ECI and its own credibility, ma'am.
I mean, good evening to all, and thank you for having me on your show, Mr. Sardesai. I just want to say this, that, to answer my friend's Anish Gawande's lecture and his points that he raised, two things. You see, as far as the vote percentage is concerned, yes, in Lok Sabha, there was a much less voting percentage because complacency had set in. It was over the weekend, and it was even the May vacation. But we as Mahayuti worked on it. Secondly, as far as the Pipani or Tutari confusion is concerned, after the nominations are finalized, people are allowed to withdraw the nomination. The EC comes with a list of candidates with the symbols. Why did they not raise the objection then? Nothing. They slept over it, and now they are behaving like a crybaby. Now, coming back to the EVM issue, Mr. Sardesai, just give me 1 minute. Why did the EVM at all was envisaged and was put into practice was because of the brutal criminal activity around the electioneering process, booth capturing, bogus voting. So it was at the instance of Rajiv Gandhi that this EVM was conceptualized, envisaged, and was implemented, as my dear friend Sanju Verma ji said, in 2004. Subsequently, twice the UPA government came in power. We were never a crybaby. As recent as the Lok Sabha election, 4 months ago, they won the election. They had an impressive mandate. We were not crying. We upped our ante. We upped our game. We worked on the ground.
But there are serious problems with voter lists. You see, this is a thing which is evidentiary. We have to look at voter lists. We have to look at the manner in which voters are being confused over symbols. This is where you expect the Election Commission to be proactive.
Let me answer. Let me complete. One second. As far as the electioneering process is concerned, I've been an on-ground worker. I've been a counting agent and a polling agent. Now I'll tell you this. The day the election happens, there are polling agents of each party. It is only in their presence that the final tally with their signature is taken on the EVM sheet, and after that, under a supervision, under a security guard, which is also supervised by the political party, that the EVM goes to the store machine. Now, the day the counting happens, there are counting agents of each political party. So they have given a sheet, they have a sheet on the number of votes polled in the EVM machine. So when the counting happens, there is end of the counting, end of the booth, there is total list of votes.
You
So
make a good, you make a strong point, which I think is really where I come from.
I come from Worli.
You made your
Mr.
point.
Sardesai,
Ma'am, you made
I
the
come
point.
from Worli. Last 1 second, I come from Worli. And trust me, I was at the polling booth and I saw a line of at least 500 to 600 people coming in and after 5 o'clock. They realize that this is the time to vote for security, stability.
You know, that
progress,
argument,
and
ma'am, that people
Maharashtra.
came after 5 o'clock is extremely
I'm telling
suspicious,
you.
that suddenly people
I'm
come inside.
telling you,
Okay, ma'am,
Mr.
you made
Sardesai.
a, ma'am, the fact is you
All
made the
right.
point.
I
There
rest my
is
case.
no clarity why people should come in such large numbers after 5, but Anish
Why
Gawande,
not?
no, Anish Gawande and Mr. Hussain, the question is, no, y'all are, 1 minute, your candidates are
people on
raising
the ground.
questions.
There are
Just a
people
minute,
on the
ma'am.
ground.
Allow me to, people
We
are
have
raising
voices
these
on the
questions, or
ground.
put a voice down.